Good morning. Is there a group that would like to go first? Please read the comparison and contrast chapter in subjects and strategies for Monday. The next paper is going to use comparison and contrast to look at your controversy and see what both sides are saying, what their positions are. Okay, Lily, if you guys want to get set up, let me know when you're ready, and then you can share your screen.
I have a question about the quiz. How are we handing that out?
It depends on how you did it. Is it a slide in your presentation? Is it a separate document? How did you set it up?
I made both. Like I have a slide and also like a Word document.
Okay, what you'll do is just put up the slide and then they can put their answers into the chat.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you give them the quiz and they can just register their answer in the chat. So you can just ask them like one at a time.
Okay, sounds good.
Will that work?
All right.
Okay, who's gonna go after Lily's group? Let's get it set up so we can keep rolling.
Me and Julian can. Well, my group can.
Okay, Devin.
So Lily has a little bit problem with internet, so she will be back in 1 second.
Okay. Did everybody do all right accessing the midterm? Any questions about it? Looks like most of you got it in. If you didn't and you had a problem, please contact me. Okay, so Lily's group, Lily, who's all in Lily's group?
I am.
Lily, Claire, and Milos. Okay, thank you. Devin and Julian. Anybody else in your group?
No.
Okay.
Are we gonna share, like, should I share my screen for this?
Yes,
Okay.
Lily's coming back. Hey, Lily, you back with us?
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected for some reason. My laptop's not connecting to the Wi-Fi, so one of my teammates is going to share their screen instead of me.
Okay, makes sense. All right, you guys can go ahead and start whenever you're ready.
Claire, are you going to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to hover over the bottom bar for the share screen to pop up. It can be tricky.
Okay, so can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, so our presentation is going to be on MLA citations, and it's Claire, Milos, and me, Lily, presenting. So for MLA format, you're going to need different information. So when you're doing your research, you want to make sure that you're keeping the references that you're looking at, and the information you're going to need from those references are the author, page number, the title of the work, the title of the container, the version and / edition, the volume number, publisher, and publication date, as well as the date accessed if it applies. So where do you find this information? So if it's a book, it's usually going to be on the cover or in the first few pages. You're going to find publishing information about the book. And then if it's a scholarly article, you're going to find it on the first page or the last page. So I added this image so you can see where on the first page it would be. So you can see that's where the title of the container is, which in this case is the journal, the volume, as well as the pages that it's in, and the publication date, and then the title of the source and the author. So sometimes this is the front page, but sometimes it is like the publication date or some information is going to be on the last page. As far as paper formatting, when you're writing your essay, you want to make sure that on the top right corner you have your name, the professor's name, the class that you're writing the work for, and the date. And then on the header for each page, you want to make sure you write your last name and the page number. The title is going to be centered in the middle. And for each paragraph is going to have an indentation, and the whole work is going to be double spaced, and make sure that the works cited heading is also centered on the last page.
For citation in text, we have two types of that. First is citing direct quotes. That means taking a copy of material from someone else source, work or source, and write exactly how it's wrote in that original source. It is important to use quotation marks. Quotation marks will mark where is the start of the quote and where is the end. At the end of the quote, it is necessary to add an in-text citation that need to have writer's name and the number of the page you use. The period always goes outside of brackets at the end of your in-text citation. And this is like two examples of how it looks like. And if you take some source that is on more than one pages, you need to add all pages on in the citation. For paraphrasing, next slide. Paraphrasing means taking material from another source and rewording it, writing in your own words, but it is important that meaning of remains the same when you reword it. So that shows that you understand what the author wrote, and at the end of the paraphrase, you also need to add in-text citation. That means that include author's name and also all the pages. And it's important that period goes outside also of the bracket. And this is the example of how paraphrase looks like.
Okay, works cited. Works cited citations means similar to references, but it differs from a book such as bibliographies. How works cited citations works is found in when a list of the works that you referenced in the body of your paper. As an example, you can find such information in a bibliography as it will have all sources you used in your research. An example of works cited is the sentence title, works cited without quotation marks at the top of the page. Okay.
So when you're making your works cited page, this is how you're gonna format it. So as I said earlier, the works cited heading is gonna be centered in the middle of the page. And then there's gonna be a hanging indent for each work that you cite, so each entry. And this is a basic format of any works, like any work that you're gonna cite. So it's the author first, the title, title of container, other contributors if it applies, the version, edition, the volume number, the publisher, publication date, and the location, and then the URL or DOI. And then if it applies, then the second information. And then so, for example, for a book, you're going to write the author first, and it's going to be last name, first name, title of the book. Make sure that's italicized, the city of the publication, the publisher, and then the publication date. If it's a periodical, you're going to write the author's name or the authors if it's more than one, the title of the article in quotations. The periodical title is going to be italicized, and then the date, day, month, year, and then the pages that it's found in. So yeah, that's how you format your works cited page.
These are for further help on MLA citation. Majority of these websites are from the Purdue Online Writing Lab, and the other two websites are from EasyBib and Cite This For Me.
That's our works cited page of what we used for this presentation.
Okay, good.
Next slide. Okay, so this is the quiz. So does everyone want to put their answer for the first question? What else has to be written on the top left-hand side of the first page after your name?
Put your answers in the chat.
And you want us to keep track of everyone's answers?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
So what else do you need in the top left after your name? your name, and what else? Thanks, Grant. Yeah. Your name, instructor, course, and date.
Okay, so the second question is, does the header on the right have to be on every page or just the first page? Okay, yeah, that's the right answer. And what is the difference between direct quotes and paraphrasing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, those are both good answers. The fourth question is, what kind of indentation is used in the works cited page?
Ooh, tricky question. Anybody remember what it's called? Yeah, it is double space, but the indent is, yes, very good, Julian. It's a hanging indent.
Yeah, it's a hanging indent. For number 5, it's true or false. If you give false as the answer, then what's the correct answer? So in a reference on the works cited page, the title is written in bold. Yeah, so you guys are actually both right, because it's italicized for a book and it's in quotations for a journal.
Very good.
So that's the end of our presentation.
Okay, thanks, guys. Nice work. You will stop sharing your screen. Then Devin, are you going to share your screen or is Julian?
How do I do that?
Julian's gonna share screen.
Okay, click on share screen again.
Okay, does it say new share? Or,
Here, I can do it for you
okay,
because I have control over the. But there's a little red button, usually believe it, beneath it that says stop share just for future.
okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, you may start when you're ready.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, so we did a little bit more like background information on MLA format before we get into the citation. So hold on. Can you mute? What? Can you like lower it? Lower it? Yeah. All right, what is MLA formatting? MLA formatting is guidelines to format citing papers and scripts. In your writing, MLA format provides writers with a system for referencing their sources and citations and essays and works cited pages. A format to use to construct a proper paper. Why use MLA formatting? MLA formatting makes it easier for you to show examples from other papers or sources without it considered being stealing or plagiarism. Professors and editors tell people to use MLA format because it's like a very like easy style, so that like if you know how to use MLA formatting, you'll be able to use that like anywhere you go. It won't be different. And then when like looking through sources, MLA format can show if the source is credible or not. Like if you look at their site, like who's like what papers they're citing from or resources they're citing from, and you could check to make sure that it's like legitimate and not a sponsored or biased resource paper. This is just some background on MLA formatting. It was originated in 1883. It stands for the Modern Language Association, and it promotes the study and teaching of language and literature. And then Aaron Marshall Elliott, who was a professor, was considered the founder of MLA formatting.
There are two different ways to cite a source. There are in-text citations. In-text is when you reference the author in an actual paper instead of finishing the paper and showing a page worth of it. Works cited page is used when you are done writing a paper and is organized in an alphabetical order. We can go to the next page. How to cite. So when you cite something, it's author's last name, comma, first name, period, and in quotes, title of source, and then publisher, comma, published year, comma, location, period, and then you put in the URL. And in text is in parentheses, author's last name, comma, page number. So templates, there are many templates that can be provided to you via Google Docs, Microsoft Word, and other documentary applications. What you have to do is select the template, add in page numbers, your first and last name, professor's first and last name, course and date, example 12 November 2020. After you do that, you may add a title or even select to have one, then start writing your paper. And that is it.
All right, so we have a little Kahoot. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna post a link in the chat, but I'm going to. Yeah, should I stop my share? Should I keep it going for the Kahoot?
If you have information on there, you can leave it for now. That would be
It's
helpful. Or if it's going to give away your quizzes, then you might want to stop sharing.
okay. I'm gonna stop sharing real quick. I can reshare if I have to. It's just like kind of questions on like the actual presentation, I guess, to kind of make sure people paid attention, I guess. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to send this.
Are you giving us a link to join?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
You can paste it in the chat if you want.
Okay, host. Classic. All right, it's loading game pin. All right. So that's the game pin. Oh, is it gonna send? There we go.
Okay, what website do we need to go to?
Kahoot.it.
Can you paste that in the chat also?
Yes.
So go to Kahoot and then enter the pin.
I honestly haven't used Kahoot that much, but will the questions like show on their screen, or am I gonna have to read them out loud?
No, it'll show.
Okay.
You may have to start the quiz.
Yeah, I was seeing if more people would join
Okay.
because there's
If
12
you
of
can
us
see,
in
that's
here.
cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's 7 of you guys, so should I just start it? Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Okay. You get 20 seconds for each question, and if everyone answers, I'll just cut it short. All right, so it was Aaron M. Elliott. He was considered the founder. He was a professor, and I'm pretty sure that was one of our first few slides. Sorry if the time's a little short. I thought it was longer. I thought I set it for longer. It disconnected you. All right, well, you could still join, Mallory. That code should still work. It didn't have the question. Okay, I'll just read them out loud, Grant. The question is, which one is not used in us like to cite a source?
Which one is not used to cite a source? Right now, we're all seeing just the triangles with no questions or answers.
For real?
Yeah.
All
So if you
right.
want, let's just switch over to read them and we'll put our answers in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, because on my screen, it's this. So I don't know why it's not showing it, but I'll just
I
read
don't
them.
know either.
Okay. All right. All right. So the third question is a true or false. It is there more than 2 ways? There's more than 2 ways to cite a source? Is that true or false? Yes, there is more than 2 ways to cite a source. It's very correct. The next one is also a true or false. It is using MLA format can show if a source is credible. This one is also true. It is it would show if a source is credible, because when you look at a paper like a website's source like citations, you can check to make sure they're not biased, or if they are being like, if all the pages are from a same like page, you can tell that that paper was biased or they were kind of like paid to write that. And then the fifth and final question is, works cited pages are supposed to be in alphabetical order. Um, answer for that one is yes. All when you do a works cited page, they are supposed to be in alphabetical order, not in the order you used them in the paper.
Okay.
That is all for my quiz.
All right, we have time for one more. I think we have one more group here. So
Are we supposed to send you this or something like
yes,
that?
please, everyone submit everything. I know it's identical, but it helps me keep track of who did what. So please submit any, if you did your quiz separately, please submit a link to it if it's like your Kahoot, or if you have it on a sheet of, I've already had somebody submit it as a document, that works as well. If it's on your slide, you just submit, I mean, you're going to submit your presentation regardless, your slides. So yeah, submit all of it, and don't forget to include your evaluation of everyone's work in the group. Please read the instructions for submitting and submit it on Brightspace. I've already had several people submit. Okay, my next group. Who's going to share your screen? We've got, see, everybody's group members here. Grant, are all your group members here?
I don't know where Kayla went. I don't. I'll message her. I don't know where she is though.
Okay.
Sorry.
Me, Mallory, and Maria can go.
Okay, then Grant, you guys will go on Monday.
Okay. Sorry.
Not your fault, yeah. Camilla will go on Monday for you too.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so our presentation will just be like the general things you need for an MLA style paper. And so
Okay,
Maria,
just to let you know, we may have to stop it and then restart it for the after session if we run out of time.
okay, so it's Maria, Isabella, and Mallory.
What is MLA? MLA stands for Modern Language Association, and there are quite a few different additions to MLA. MLA is important because it's easy for readers to navigate through sources and comprehend the text through sources. It gives the paper a persistent flow, and it is also a universal format.
If someone is talking, we cannot hear you. You may have to activate your audio.
Sorry, I couldn't get my thing to drop down. When formatting an MLA style paper, the whole paper needs to be double spaced, size 12 font. Most of the time, people like it in Times New Roman. The header is with the page number is located in the upper right hand corner, and then your name is also in that as well. You have to set all the margins to 1 inch and indent the first line of each paragraph.
Formatting the first page. You will have no title page. You have to list your name, your instructor's name, the course name, and the date in the upper left-hand corner. In the center of the paper is the title of the essay or whatever you're writing. And you need to create a header with your name and the page number on the upper right-hand corner.
Example of the first page is like this photo is showing now. And it needs a title of your paper, your name, supervisor name, course name, due date name, and actually we need to page readers surname one, and it's important to have the double space and a half of inch indent. In test citation, in test citation is brief reference in your test that indicates the source you use it. It should direct the reader to your work cited page. You should provide your citation without interrupting your writing. In the text citation should be the author's last name or an abbreviated title with the page number included inside parentheses. And it's also important to share that because to avoid the plagiary. Sometimes we tend to put the citation and could be plagiarized.
Okay, hold that thought right there. We're going to have to end this session. Now I want to open up another one before you go to the next slide so you can finish your presentation. Please rejoin us in the next session.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you guys in a sec.